9-bit armies, a bit too far. On the surface it looking like 8-bit armies, but with boats, but 9-bit armies has seen a good deal of quality of life updates that set it apart from its predecessor. Most notably the ability to build forward bases with the mobile headquarters without having to base creep across the map. The ability to build defenses separate from your regular buildings, the new units and features add a more dynamic experience to matches. Much of the rosters is same as it was from 8-bit with a couple new land and air units. Naval combat provides more optional on how to approach the enemy, destroying bridges across water to delay and deny the enemy, using transports to sneak in behind the enemy and start building a base behind enemy lines with the MHQ, or simply boarding land forces with your battleships. The game has a number of different single and multiplayer modes. For single player, you have the campaign that I personally feel has a better narrative than the previous game, and not just a series of skirmish challenges. You have your skirmish options with a number of modifiers you can choose between. You can toggle super weapons on or off, and set how much resources are in each oil derrick, including infinity resources if you want to play massive battles without having to worry about resources running dry. There is a daily challenge mode, where you complete challenges to earn your place on the scoreboard, and there is a horde mode where you have to defend against waves of increasingly difficult hordes of enemies. For multiplayer, you can play the whole campaign in co-op. There is a ranked 1v1 and custom multiplayer matches to play against other players or AI, and you can also play the new survival mode in co-op up to 4 players. Disclaimer: I don't really play RTS games apart from CNS and an occasionally bit of AoE. Miss me with the culture point BS and arbitrarily gameplay limited population caps that most modern RTCs have. If we are not getting a much needed remaster for Array 2, then this is the next best thing. I'm always happy to support Battlefield. It has excellent progression, requiring you to unlock high attack units and then go back to complete bonuses objectives. The balance is a bit off, but it never really was a priority for the good and CNSC games. Most of people who are complaining about campaign difficulty don't understand the progression system. You aren't mean to be able to 100% of mission on your first time through. Personally, I prefer the style of Triviran sub-series, but Red Alert was always more popular, especially for those that didn't care so much about lore, so I can see why they went for a design that favors rushing given the budget nature of this title. The AI is really good and has improved dramatically compared to 8-bit. They can build larger bases, they build forward bases with MHQs, they are effective across land, air and sea, and will build massive armies to fight you. The AI doesn't cheat. The highest difficult setting is simply the AI playing with the same rules the player has. Lower difficulty is the AI playing with eliminations. The AI was developed to build and expand based on how players might. The AI can be challenged without being unfair but beatable without feeling like you have gamed the system. The game comes with an editor for making maps and the game has full mod support that can be played multiplayer, so you can further tailor your gameplay experience however you like it. Biggest downsides at the moment: only one campaign at the moment, the other is still being worked on right now. Only 2 factions, not a big deal, bigger, but I do miss the Hordes and Invaders factions. No definitive word on whether there will be more factions in the future. With so many units in the bigger matches, the game can slow down to compress it. Not game breaking, but you will want a good computer to get the best out of it. Not a lot of PvP players, most play single player or against the AI with their friends. If you are looking for PvP, be prepared for long waits of using the difficult Discord channel to find players. All in all, I had highly recommended if you are at all into base building courtesy games. The game is really easy to pick up and play it for anyone at any level, but deep enough to provide a lot of interesting PvP experience when you do find a lot player to play against. The game has a ton of content even at its early access stage, and that content will only grow as the game is developed, both officially the community mod content.